Embrace.
I was just talking with Zero about how I'm lucky because at least I'm not getting stabbed in the balls every 10 seconds. Apart from that, though, it's been great.
My question is, why were you getting stabbed in the balls every 10 seconds?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, I mean, facts, but...
I'll be right back. I just got to clean up a little bit from dinner, but I'll be back in just a moment.
I was kicking with, I had beef burgundy, but it wasn't beef burgundy because I didn't use burgundy. Instead, someone gifted me a bottle of Montana cherry wine, which is absolutely fucking heinous, and I hate drinking wine, but I love cooking with wine.
Ain't nothing like cooking with wine, man.
Dude, it's so fucking good. And yeah, it just really it was the perfect wine to use with beef. It gave everything such a pop. The noodles that I just put it on tasted fucking delicious, and they were just plain noodles. I didn't there was no butter in my meal. There was no fucking nothing. It was just basically a wine sauce with spring onions.
Nice.
And a bunch of beef and some bow tie noodles. It was great. Absolutely fantastic.
Wife and I had leftover pizza because we've been out of town. We were out of town. We left Saturday morning at 8. Her cousin got married Saturday afternoon. We drove 4.5 hours from Virginia to Pennsylvania.
Which one of your relatives did your cousin get married to?
We're not West Virginia or Alabama. But we drove 4.5 hours, went to the wedding, went back to the hotel, went to sleep, got up the next morning, and left at 8 a.m. and drove back. So in 24 hours, we spent like almost 9 hours in the car. So.
Hooray. Oh, I guess that's not so bad yet. No, it was just you and your wife in the car, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't actually have to put up with the mess of any family. Like, that's the ideal horror game situation there, is you're trapped in a car with... Why hasn't someone made this a simulator? Trapped with your in-laws on a road trip, where you're just trying to stave off insanity. It could be an RPG, one of those, choose your own adventure type things, and the whole premise of the game is that you're on a 6-hour long trip, or however long hour a trip, and you're trapped in your car with your in-laws, and you have to direct the conversation in a way that doesn't make somebody demand to be let out of the car.
See, but here's the thing. I'm such an asshole that I would turn around and do everything possible to get them to get out of the car.
Well, if it was my car and I was driving, yeah. So okay, fine. You'd have to be the passenger in the vehicle, so there would be a repercussion if you fucked up. Then it's you who gets tossed out of the vehicle and game over.
Oh yeah, no. Then in that case,
so, all right, yeah. Because I'm the same way. If I'm driving the car, I'm like, if you don't like what I have to say, then get the fuck out of my vehicle. And we're going 80 on the highway. And just be like, why is that stopping you?
It's called tucking and rolling.
Tuck and roll, neighbor. Tuck and roll. Oh, crying out loud. Yeah. So anyway, it's been a fun week. Oh, wait. I should wait until Omega gets back.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and then we came back, and Sunday marked the 8-year anniversary of losing my mother. So I spent time with my sister and stepdad, and we talked about me joining their D&D session in the next couple of months on Wednesday nights. So that will be fun. And then today we took the pupper to the vet for her annual checkup.
Is she still a dog?
She is still a dog.
Well,
she's still an adorable dog.
Most of them are. For some reason, YouTube recommended these a whole bunch of shorts to me about this lady who grooms pets, mainly dogs, and it's adorable. It really is adorable seeing most dogs. Because, okay, I have a history with this. I used to have a Siberian Husky, and the Siberian Husky was the only dog ever that my family has had professionally groomed. So the rest of the time, Scottish Terriers, we do it ourselves. I help give them baths. I mean, they're my parents' dogs, so I help my mom give them a haircut, and that's pretty much the extent of it. It's not difficult. They love us. No. They're very tolerant. They're dogs of good temperament if they know you. The Husky, the end of the fucking world if she got wet.
Oh, every time. And they've got that thick-ass undercoat. I grew up with an Alaskan Malamute Husky mix. You want to talk about an absolute pain in the ass to wash. She had to, or to bathe. She also had to have a professionally done blowout 3 times a year. My dad used to take her out in the backyard because he got tired of paying $85 to have her fur blown out every 4 months, and said, F it, bought a shop vac, turned it the other, or put the hose on the exhaust side and just blew her coat out himself.
So that was the thing. I was young when we had. I was a kid when we had our Husky. Well, when we got her, and then I went off to college, and that just speaks to how old she was or how long she lived. But when both of us were young pups, I should say, I had absolutely no problem. I actually thought it was neat. I thought it was fun in the summertime because she would get these little tufts of hair basically all over, and it was hair that was meant to be shed. If you saw a picture of a Husky that was shedding, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So
absolutely.
I used to love sitting there and like picking the hair out and just being like ooh, 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 and just going all over and being like, oh, this is so much fun. She hated it. She thought that I was like taking pieces of her soul, and she was just like, you stop doing that. Oh my god, no, you can't do that whatsoever. So that led to this whole year-long process of us trying every gimmick in the book, from brushes to gloves to whatever plastic. They look like Kong toys, but they're brushes, and they're supposed to get fur out. Just everything that we could possibly think of to try and make her not think that it was the end of the world that we were taking dead hair off of her. It's not like we were pulling fur out at all. These were already clearly separated from her body, and you just needed like just the most gentle like tick off. But yeah, Jesus, they really do shed. Part of having a Husky that I did not enjoy though was cleaning my parents' cars when I was a teenager. So they were just like, oh yeah, it's summertime, it's the weekend, obviously you don't have plans of your own, we're gonna put you to work. And something I did once every couple of months was just take a shop vac to both cars and clean them top to bottom, and they were covered. Every time they were covered in Husky fur. So I don't miss that part of having a Husky, but everything else about it was fantastic. She was great.
Yeah. They are amazing dogs, and they are loyal.
Protective. Oh, good times. Anyway, yeah. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, welcome to the Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is still Squeak. I gotta change that. I'm joined tonight by Absolute Zero and OmegaConstruct. Masami is on vacation, and the Leetness is too drunk to fill in for her. Presently.
Is he too drunk? Hi, future Leetness. I hope you don't have a hangover.
It's to the point where he can't figure out how to work a microphone, because we've seen him drunk before, but this is one of those special times.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
All right, we're starting. We started 10 minutes ago. Almost on the nose. 10 minutes now. There we go.
Nice.
So, what the hell? What the fuck? What the shit? What the
I just
bitch?
posted a whole bunch of articles that I saw, so...
I know, yeah, okay, I flew through that. Yeah, if we run out of talking material for this week, yes, thank you. Thank you for the abundance of news articles.
You got stuff from previous week, too.
Yeah, I pulled up, like, the juicy stuff from last week and, some stuff from this week as well.
Also, I started watching a new TV show. Well, two, actually. One of them... It's kind of awesome. It's on YouTube. It's free. There's a YouTube channel called Danger TV, and it's just a channel where they like put up a bunch of like reality TV type shows, and they've got a show that just it follows the Coast Guard around and watches them watches them tapes them rescuing people and shit, and it's pretty cool. And there's like 67 fucking episodes of it. It's like one of those shows that was on like Discovery or whatever back in the day, and they just dumped it all on YouTube. Good times, but. I started watching an actually really fucking good show. It's called Severance on Apple TV. I don't know if you guys have heard about this show.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
This show is fucking crazy. Holy shit, it's good.
Okay.
It stars Adam Scott from Parks and Rec, Community, one of those two shows. But the premise of the show is nuts. The production is fucking crazy. Beautiful camera design, beautiful sound design. This is a very, very interesting, suspenseful, fucky kind of show that's weird and got a lot of cool shit.
Nice.
Yeah. Premise is like you can you work for a company and they do this thing where they sever your memories so that when you are at work, you remember everything, but you don't know anything. Like it basically separates you into two people. There's a person that's you at work, and then when you leave the office, your normal memories return to you, and you don't remember anything while at work. And then when you're at work, you don't remember anything from your real life. And it's a really cool show.
That would make my job so much nicer. Working in corporate complaints. Oh my God, we need to invest in this technology like now.
See, I think that's what about the show is so neat is that like that premise on the surface of it, it's like because you're they call it your innie and your outie. So from your outie's perspective, you drive to work in the morning, and just like when you go to sleep and wake up the next morning, you wake up leaving the office at the end of the day.
Huh.
And then, but see, on the flip side, your innie, your work personality or your work memories timeline or whatever, that wakes up, it starts its day at work and it goes to leave. And then immediately upon leaving the office, it returns for the next day. So your severed half is perpetually at work in a cycle of 9 a.m. to clock out, 9 a.m., like every day.
I think I could live with that.
It's really interesting.
My working personality would go ballistic, probably. I'm just gonna guess.
That's one of the themes of the show. As you might imagine.
Yeah, I would have no problem perpetually going home and going to bed and waking up and, going to work. I don't think that would be an issue for me at all, but just to constantly be in a loop of working nonstop, yeah, I think I would have a breakdown.
Yeah, it's really insane. Like I highly recommend this show. I'm I think 4 episodes in now. And it's only got 1 season, but I believe there's a 2nd season that has been confirmed. But it's just it's a really good mindfuck kind of a show. If you're into a good mindfucky kind of show, it's definitely fitting the bill for me.
So Ben Stiller directed 7 episodes.
Yeah, surprisingly.
So that is, he's directed several things actually. And of course, I'm not going to be able to remember any of them right now. But no, he's a good director.
Yeah, here's the thing. I hate Ben Stiller. I've for a long time hated Ben Stiller, but I think I am softening that position to I hate Ben Stiller as an actor.
Sure,
but I think he's like I love this show, and honestly, like the direction of the show is one of the things that I like the most about it. Like it's very it almost blends like some Wes Anderson kind of spatial weirdness with like the environment itself being a character in its own right, really playing with space and and cinematography that way, while also having like a almost Kubrick kind of mind fuckiness to some. It's weird. Also got like Eternal Sunshine kind of vibes going on at some points. It's a really cool show. All right, I'll stop.
So
I'll stop gushing about the show now. But
we're gonna take the good with the bad here. Ben Stiller directed Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, so meh. But Ben Stiller also directed.
That movie.
He also directed Tropic Thunder, which was fucking phenomenal.
Hey, here's the thing. I hate Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder, but Tropic Thunder is a great movie for pretty much every reason other than Ben Stiller in the movie, and I know that he directed it. So like this is you're going with me down my journey of softening my stance on Ben Stiller here. Like, yeah, he's made some good stuff behind the scenes, but I just something about him I don't care for as an actor.
Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Tropic Thunder, yeah, that's one of the only that is actually the only movie where I forgot that I was watching Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is one of those actors who's just exactly like Leonardo DiCaprio, and I've said this before on the show. Whenever I watch a movie with Tom Cruise or with Leonardo DiCaprio, I am very aware that I am watching a talented person act. There's no immersion for me. There's no illusion of a character. I am seeing them as a person doing a job. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the movies. It doesn't mean that I don't think they're great. But, yeah.
You ever see Craig Ferguson's stand-up bit, Wee Bit of Revolution? And he does a bit about Sean Connery. He's like, Sean Connery's not an actor. Yeah. He's a movie star. He's Sean Connery in everything you've seen him in. He's a Russian sub-commander. That's right, I'm a Russian sub-commander.
He's a Spaniard and Highlander. That's right, I'm a Spaniard. Yeah, no, Sean Connery is absolutely that guy. He's an Englishman.
That's right, I'm a Russian sub-commander. You know it, I know it. I'm Sean Connery. You're lucky I'm in this piece of shit.
Tim Curry, Sam Neill. Who else was Russian in that movie? They all did Russian accent. Well, no, Tim Curry didn't. He did a British accent. Okay, I take that back. Sam Neill, though. Sam Neill did a hell of a good job with a Russian accent. Yeah, Sean Connery's just like, no, I'm the only Scottish Russian person.
Which state did Sam Neill want to go to? Montana?
Montana, yeah. He wanted to go to Montana, and
I would like to see Montana.
When we arrive, I will live in Montana, and I will find a fat wife, and we will have many children. Yeah, that was his plan. It was a great plan. You know what Sam Neill didn't do such a great job in? Did anyone ever see the made-for-TV movie Merlin?
Oh, God. That movie was awful.
I don't know why that just popped into my head. It's got to have been at least 20 or maybe 25 years since I've seen Merlin. But god damn. Oh shit. All right. TV shows.
Yep.
No, wait, I haven't watched many TV shows. I did Peripheral earlier, which is the one with Chloe. The hell is her last name? She's
Kardashian.
famous. No, the one that's famous but actually has talent. Chloe.
Kourtney Kardashian? Wait.
No, not a Kardashian. God fucking damn it. Chloe Grace Moretz or something. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah. So Peripheral is a neat concept. Basically, yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but Chloe and her brother are taking care of their mother who is ill, and in order to make ends meet, the brother makes some sort of deal where he gets a VR headset, what he presumes to be a VR headset, in the mail, and he gives it to his sister, played by Chloe, and he's like, "Here, check this out. We're now beta testing, this brand new VR technology," and she puts it on, and she's immersed in this brand new world, and things go from there, and it's a little crazy, but it's great. It has a very interesting sci-fi premise to it. And the other one that I watched a couple months ago, was a European production called 1899, and again, that was a little much. That was a little thick on the drama and the suspense and the pathos, but still very interesting concept. And it's a good whodunit. It's a good mystery until you get to the very end and you realize, oh, and it's kind of nice. You didn't really see that coming. Or at least I didn't, and I overanalyzed fucking everything. So yeah, I'll trade you one Severance for a Peripheral and an 1899. Another show that I started watching but then stopped pretty much immediately was called Echo 3, and it's about two special forces operatives that are friends, and one of them has a sister, and the other one falls in love with the sister and gets married to the sister, and then the sister goes on some sort of humanitarian trip to a insert shithole country below the southern equator here, and gets captured, and they have to do special forces things to go and get her back. And I stopped watching that after 2 episodes because there was no fucking way in the world I was ever going to buy that either of those dudes were ever in the army, let alone operators. It is just no. Completely unbelievable. Operators do not have deep philosophical conversations about what is love. I mean, they do.
Maybe don't hurt me.
They
don't hurt me.
They probably do, but they probably don't have it while staring into a mirror with really nice lighting around them. I think they're much more concerned with, like, staying alive, being situationally aware.
Sorry, you're setting me up unknowingly, and I am so sorry.
No, it's great. Because I get him like, I give him half a second. I get half a second after you say it. That's fine. That's good. That's good shit. Oh, protecting our waters. Yeah, protecting our water. Omega, I'm gonna guess that that Coast Guard show is taken down, or has footage of intercepting narco subs.
No, it's like done across each season is like a different Coast Guard station, and the first one is in Alaska. I actually started watching the one that's in the Pacific Northwest, which is actually the final season of the show. It's hilarious. They're stationed out in an area that's actually like legitimately called Cape Disappointment, and it's pretty great. But it's mostly them like going and rescuing somebody who got injured on a fishing vessel, or surfers who got caught in a riptide, or like it's the day-to-day life-saving Coast Guard work. I have yet to actually see anything involving dramatized criminal activity, and I've watched a bunch of the show. I mean, it's a good show. Like, not to sound sappy, but it's like a really good representation of like people who just want to like save lives and help people. And yeah, it's nuts. It's like I fucking love it.
Nice.
It's like just looking over the shoulder of like the helicopter pilot as they're going up to the boat, and then like hoisting down the swimmer onto the deck and, you know, loading up some injured crewman onto a litter and fucking bringing them back. It's nuts, dude. These guys are crazy. Like, I couldn't, in good conscience, you know, if I were to have a hypothetical child, recommend that they join the military knowing what our government and military does. But Coast Guard? I'm okay with that. This show's propaganda has worked on me. I know what it is. I admit it.
You ever see, it's on YouTube, there's like I want to say 40-minute documentary on National Guard training camp or National Guard boot camp. And it just follows recruits through the whole thing. It is kind of, it is different. I'm gonna say this without trying to be disparaging at all, because I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I'd make it through very far. But yeah, if you compare it to Army basic training, it's like, the Coast Guard maybe has it a little bit easier here. If you compare it to the Marines, it's just like, nope. But on its own, yeah, Coast Guard training camp is, it can be intense. And they do a lot of the same stuff in principle, like team building exercise and unit cohesion and all the rest of that. They do a lot of important stuff. Like, it's not a joke. It is not easy.
The Coast Guard is a legitimate branch of the military. They're not like, you know, some fucking summer camp version of the Navy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you talk to anybody in like
they're
Army,
the
Air Force,
they're the butt of the
Marines,
joke to every single branch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are.
Well, okay, no, sorry, that's not true. Sometimes the Air Force is the butt of the joke.
My stepdad is a former Marine, and the way he put it is the Coast Guard is there if the other branches need a fall guy for some shit that went down.
That's good lighthearted shit talking though.
and then he looked at me and he said, and the Navy is just our taxi when we need to go across the water. And then he goes, and you know what? The same could be said for the Air Force. But we have our own Air Force in the Marines, so I don't know why we even have an Air Force. The Marines should just do it all. And
yeah.
I saw a joke recently. The United States military is so big that its Navy's Army has its own Air Force.
Yes, it does. The airplanes on aircraft carriers are not, as far as I understand it, are not Air Force. Those are that's the Navy's Air Force.
But no, that's you missed a step. The Navy's Army, which is the Marines, has its own Air Force, which it does. Like the Marines has its entirely own separate aviation division from, you know, the Navy, the regular Navy aviators.
They've got a lot of that too. They have their own specialized equipment. I don't even know what you would refer to it as, division, section. But yeah, the Marines have a lot of toys to play around with. Whatever. The Marines have a lot of toys to play around with that are not otherwise popular or accessible in the Army, for example.
My stepdad always tells me he was a combat engineer, and which means he got to play as the way he put it to me when we first met him was, I got to play Minesweeper for real. And
not great. Not
great. But he looked at me and he goes, so he's telling us the story, and there was when he went through combat engineering training, they had this one stump out in California, at the base in California, that every single squad, combat engineer platoon tried to blow out of the ground, and nobody could do it. Well, his platoon packed so much C4 and det cord underneath this thing that they had to stay in the bunker for 15 minutes after they detonated it to ensure that nobody got hit by falling pieces of tree.
It sounds like he used a just about appropriate amount of explosive.
No, oh, absolutely. He said that was the fun part. He said the best part is all of the groups before us had a limit, and when they got to us, they said you don't have a limit. Get rid of the stump.
There you go. See, that's
so
that,
our taxpayer dollars at work.
That would be what attracted me to that particular profession, is the toys. I use that term lovingly. You can get a lot of toys to play with. Anyway, it's speaking of armies and whatnot, we just passed the anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine, so 1 year on into Putin's 3-day to 2-week special military operation. Way to go. You cucks.
And he's done nothing with it. That's the worst part.
Oh, he's thoroughly embarrassed his country.
Yeah, absolutely. They are the laughing stock.
I was at this last week in conversation. I am now in disbelief that I grew up believing that Russia's military was in any way comparable to our own. I can't believe that as an adult now, I can't believe that I thought that I ever thought that.
Yeah, the biggest con Russia ever pulled was apparently making the world think there was still a threat for so long.
Oh, really?
I mean, apparently Putin's been rotting that country from the inside out.
Oh, the other thing that happened today was, so do you guys know how the whole Wagner group has been claiming the destruction of X number of HIMARS, like basically per week, sometimes per day? So in theory now they have destroyed 200% of all HIMARS that were ever sent to Ukraine.
Sounds about right for Russian logistics.
So what they're doing, they might not be pulling that number out of their ass, although it is probably inflated to begin with. But speaking of inflation, the reason they might think that is because the Czech Republic apparently has been making anywhere to the tune of 20 to 40 inflatable HIMAR balloons per month and sending them to Ukraine. So the Russians really have no way of knowing, unless they have men on the ground, they don't have a good idea of which HIMARS destroyed were actual HIMARS and which ones were balloons. So there's that.
Delightful.
But today, the Wagner put out on their Telegram or whatever the fuck that they had destroyed the first Leopard tank. And they posted a picture of it very proudly and said, yeah, imagine how surprised we were to see this German machinery on the battlefield. It's gone now. Somebody took that picture, God bless them, and using either a pixel eye or just a simple Google reverse image search, they found that they had used a picture from 2018, a training exercise in Turkey. So, yeah, way to fucking go. It's like people, yeah, their social media department obviously does not understand how the internet works. No one will know. We do not know how to do image search, so no one else does either. We're very clever. Yeah, anyway, fuck Putin. Hey.
Fuck
And yeah, why not go with this one. So the Ukrainian government has just demanded or stated that it wants Atomic Heart banned on Steam. And the reason for this, Omega did a little bit of diving past this article, maybe, never mind, is because this is a, Mundfish is the developer and publisher for Atomic Heart, which is a game that came out last week. They have ties to, two oligarchs that also have investments in Gazprom and the Russian government.
Yep. So, yeah, this game is getting turned into a bit of a culture war piece.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, just briefly. Quote, this is due to the fact that investors involved in financing Mundfish include GEM Capital, an investment fund whose founder has ties to Gazprom and VTB Bank, both of which are majority owned by the Russian state. Mundfish is also partnering with VK, formerly Mail.ru, for the Russian release of Atomic Heart evading sanctions on Steam. VK is also majority owned by Russian state through Gazprom Bank, and Mundfish's CEO is a former creative director at Mail.ru. So yeah, they're kind of steeped in the Russian mud. So I won't say don't play Atomic Heart, but I will say it has been cracked. just throwing that out there. Yeah, and you don't need to buy it on Steam. Oi. Yeah, that's it. All right, so back to video games. I guess I should ask... Oh yeah, let's actually switch over. Omega, tell us all about Diablo.
Diablo 3, Season 28.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's kind of fun.
Why is it special?
I'm playing a wizard. I got these little ice hydras. They do a lot of damage.
Good old-fashioned Hydra build. You got a certain sparker.
Yep.
So that's nice. Hydra build used to be pretty good.
Currently, what is this, Grift 116?
Oh, yep, not bad. Are you going glass cannon?
No, I'm tanky as fuck.
Hey, see, that's nice for wizard.
Yeah, this season's kind of ridiculous. There's this thing called an altar of something or another. It's, the altar of power creep. Let's just call it that. Why don't we?
Sure.
I'll show it to you in a moment once I very briefly finish this grift here. I mean, look, I'm kind of just face tanking that guy.
Well, I did just see a 12 million crit. Or, sorry, excuse me, a 12.5 trillion crit.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm fucking stun-locking the Rift Guardian. I stun-locked the Rift Guardian to hell. He didn't make one attack. So, a lot of power there.
Not pure. So much pure. Alright, so you got sheet DPS of 3 mil. Your toughness is up there. Yeah, for a wizard, 46 mil for toughness. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just chilling. Alright, so I'm rocking Typhon's Veil.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Let's see. I got Ancient. I'm still working on Ancient Boots. Ancient. Still need to get Ancient Shoulders. I got an Ancient Hat. Got Ancient Serpent Sparker. Ancient Winter Flurry. Halo. COE. Built this Ancient on my first roll. Invit Life Armor. Perfect. Built this Ancient on my first roll. Not bad. Ancient Squirts. So let's see. Yeah, main damage here is set bonus doubles Hydra duration and the number of heads for the 2-piece, 4-piece. Damage taken reduced for Hydra heads, and 6-piece increased damage for each Hydra head. This 2-piece set that I've got on here is ridiculous. Huge melee damage reduction, missile damage reduction is the 2-piece, and then the 3-piece is a huge buff to all of my sheet stats. So that's a pretty nuts combination. Here's another 287% on my Hydras. What else? And then Fragment of Destiny is another 30% damage on my Hydras for every stack of my Spectral Blades, which is generally up at 10 stacks, so that's another 300% Hydra damage. So
scroll up in your details. Yeah, all the way top. Thank you. All right, cool.
So
nice. All right.
This isn't really that optimized, and
yeah,
I walk through. I'm still walking my way up the ladder without dying most times, because somewhere in my abilities, each time I do a Spectral Blade, I get an Absorb Shield. So I'm basically invincible, which keeps my squirts procced almost all the time. If I take too much sustained damage, eventually my shields go down, but Diablo Immortal is actually maybe better at kiting in Diablo 3, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so let me show you the altar, which is what this season's really all about. Where is it? Act 1.
So whatever your upstairs neighbor is doing, I recognize that it is not actually carnival music, but I can only hear the bass line, so it sounds like carnival music to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't even hear it anymore. So here's the Altar of Rites. You go through, and it's kind of a new skill tree, and they do all kinds of stuff. So the first one doubles kill streaks. I'll go roughly down the path that I've taken. So first one, double kill streaks. This one, eliminated item level requirements across the board. So starting a new character, just build a bunch of level 70 shit. It's ridiculous. Movement speed, 25%. Picking up health globes grants you a shield. Elemental skill bonuses increased. Double bounty caches. Every time you turn in a bounty, you get 2 caches. That's pretty fucking great. Immunity to all CC effects. Pass ability, you walk through any barriers, like any walls, so you can't be trapped anymore. So wallers are just a non-issue. Better drops chance from Kadala. We got pets pick up whites, blues, and yellows and automatically break them down. Pets automatically salvage. Elites drop extra orbs. Just flat DPS boost. CC immunity said that one. Pets pick up DBs. And then I also got 2 pinnacles here. Drinking a health potion. You gain a random shrine or like pylon effect. I also have, when you drink a potion, you manifest a runic circle on the ground that either increases DPS, increased CDR, or resource cost reduction. And then the last one will be just making all enemies within 25 yards deal less damage. But there's still a bunch that I haven't filled in. Oh, I also got Pools of Reflection last the entire session. So you see here, I've got this bonus. I just started playing. And bonus pool remaining 21 billion.
So it's effectively for the rest of the entire bar. Yeah.
For the rest of the entire season. It's perpetual. As long as I keep filling it up and getting more pools of reflection, I will effectively always have whatever the 25% XP boost.
Right.
So
if you put... Sorry, just real quick, going back to the whole every time you drink a health potion, you gain a random shrine effect. If you put a Flavor of Time on your follower and you drink a health potion, do you benefit from the extended duration that the Flavor of Time would give you?
Maybe.
Okay.
You gotta understand, you're so OP that the answer to that question is kind of doesn't. It's it doesn't matter.
None of this matters.
So ridiculously overpowered. I don't think too deeply about it.
Fun. Hey, Zero, you're in this game.
What?
Absolute Zero is apparently one of Omega's rune, or it's a wizard rune.
Oh,
nice.
But yeah, as you make your way down through the tree, each one. So the bottom three that you see, those cost. What are they called? Primordial ashes. You get 55 primordial ashes every time you break down a primal ancient.
Easy.
So I've gotten 3 that I've broken down so far, and it's going to be 3 more to get the last one. So you need 6 total to unlock all 3 of the capstones. But as you go through, each of these costs different resources. So, like, to start off, the first one was just 10 reusable parts, but then you needed like a diamond, arcane dust, reusable parts. And then later on, you need keystones, you need blood shards, you need to make Reaper's wraps. Keep going all the way down. I'm to the point where I need to donate a challenge rift cache. And then after that, Forgotten Souls, which I have enough to do, 1400 blood shards, which I can do, a Hellfire Ammy, set dungeon pieces.
By the way, this week's challenge dungeon is super easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Warrior or a barb, and it's stupid easy.
Hoda, spend a win. Stompy boy.
I don't know. It was kind of a mishmash. It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they do like doing that.
I gotta say, it's nice not picking up almost anything other than ancients. Or legendaries, I should say.
Right, yeah. Alright, yeah, don't know. That's pretty neat.
If you want a power level.
Yeah. Oh, look at that collection of puzzle rings. It's already that time.
I got a few.
And a towel set, just for good measure.
Yeah, Tal is a better set, supposedly. It's like...
There's still the elemental rotation.
No, it's actually just ice meteor out the asshole.
Oh, shit. Alright.
Instead of like the fucking disco kaleidoscope that it used to be, where it spammed all the elements.
You gained powers, you gained damage for how many elements you had active out, and that's what encouraged you to go. Yeah, just go.
Yeah. Well, that is still a thing, but you just use other bullshit skills to sort of keep it all procced now with the new build. But
oh, look at you! You even used the whatever it's called, the closet, for saving gear sets.
Oh yeah, you gotta. But yeah, this is T16.
Oh yeah, no, you can't judge any builds by T16 anymore. Last season was a joke too.
Honestly, for being what is effectively the last season of relevance for this game before where did the Dobby go?
Supposedly, yeah, before Diablo 4 is released, the expected release announced.
I was really hoping they would do something truly outrageous, like, you know what, we just increased the math up to, oh my god, it's a Dobby Rift.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, boy. Nuke 'em.
Yeah, that was
Duke
brutal.
Everywhere.
That was brutal. I'm surprised they didn't just go like, okay, we did the math. It now goes up to T20. Like, the drops would be absurd. The difficulty would finally be like... It would mean that something other than just grifts would actually scale to our capabilities.
We talked about that years ago, or maybe I was talking about it years ago. You have this, I believe back then, like T13 was the highest that you could go. It's just like, yeah, well, there's one more slot on that bar. Why not make it a custom torment level where you can literally just pick, do you want the difficulty of a GR 120 in a torment setting, just in a real world setting? And I thought that'd be great. But yeah, people, I don't know why that didn't catch on. Somebody probably figured out how that could be terribly abused.
I mean,
I don't give a shit.
It would be absurd if they just simply let the math scale like that. It would be absurd. The amount of drops you would get, and farming would be off the charts. But at the same time, if there's ever a time to let it happen.
Why not? Yeah, he just fell over.
Yeah. And this is with me distractedly talking with you guys while trying to play this.
Yep.
And this is like Wizard is not the fast build this season. You should see the God, like they've buffed speed. Like you saw, there's just a flat 25% speed boost as one of the nodes on the altar. Among other just absurdities everywhere.
Spin to win Demon Hunter and whatever monk. Just pick a monk build, basically.
It's so fast.
Oh yeah, or be a paladin or a crusader and just drive your horse around directly into walls.
Man, so here's the towel. Here, let me clear out my inventory before I fuck around with that. So, how's this working?
Where are your pants, Harry?
Oh yeah, I'm missing a lot, aren't I? Yeah, I have been keeping an eye on the ancient pieces that I've been not adding to it, but basically it's really kind of boring. You like keep your familiar active, which will keep your firepower rotation procced, and then you do your storm armor, and then you have your magic weapon, and so you just kind of proc all your rotation things, and then that keeps your towels up, and then you just sort of teleport into a group, stun them with your teleport, and then drop meteors on them, and you teleport and you drop meteors. It's really boring. I kind of hate it. It's powerful though, but this one, it's a fun rotation for this. Like, you need to have your, like, these do most damage, your Hydras. But you gotta, there's like a big DPS, but where does that come from actually? Oh yeah, Hydras deal 150% increased damage to enemies in a blizzard. So drop those, drop that, do that for CC, and you get this to get those spectral stacks up that I mentioned from somewhere. I don't know. It's got pieces all over the place. But oh yeah, it was the Fragment of Destiny. Spectral stacks. So it's got a rotation to it. It's a little bit more interesting than just I jump in and drop meteors and jump in and drop meteors, and I find that a little tedious. And I'm just sort of like crawling my way up.
I'm just thinking about my own twisted headcanon version of Diablo, where if your Hydras could do poison damage, essentially what you would do as a wizard is you would cast Hydra, it would come out of the ground, and it would just puke all over what was immediately surrounding it.
Nice. There is an LOD Hydra build that is actually fire Hydras.
Yeah. Well, the popular, I believe the popular wizard build used to be fire Hydra as well. I'm not sure when it switched over to cold. I haven't played wizard in ages.
Yeah, I wonder why it is cold.
Probably. Yeah, actually, I don't know, because your blizzard is fire. Why are you doing multiple elements? Probably rune effects. It's fire, yeah, but it probably does something else that you want. I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah, there's some synergy somewhere, I'm sure.
Riker knows. Yeah. It's been a big week for Diablo. I've noticed DatMods is also playing Diablo 3. He is usually strictly devout in his Lost Ark play. But yeah, good. Good. And one
I think
can
a lot
only
of people
guess.
a lot of people are coming around for the last hurrah.
Yeah. I mean, hell, it's a fun game. I played it to death.
Yep. And if there's one thing people love, it's power creep. See, I just hit a I just hit a potion, and I got a green circle. I don't know what that one is, but it's something.
Legendary Circle of Bile. Everything that steps into the circle slips and falls. And also takes, I guess it would be psychic damage if you're so grossed out that you start puking.
Maybe.
Possibly. Oh well. Alright, so yeah, anyway, Diablo 3 Season 28. It's a thing. It's out. A lot of people are playing it. A lot of people are having fun. Since Discord, lit up again. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, honestly, I'm however many days in now. I probably won't play too much more. Either I switch to a new class, or like I'm just about done. Like, I'm not chasing leaderboards.
Right.
I've got mostly ancient shit. What's left for me to really do? I mean, sure, do I continue until I finish the Altar of Rites just for the sake of saying I finished it? Sure. Do I finish my season journey? Yeah, maybe. I think I'm like 6 out of 8 right now on the season journey. But I don't care that much.
What the challenge depends on what the challenge rotation was this season. There are a couple in there that I'm just like immediately nah.
The conquests.
Yeah, those, yeah.
Yeah, one of them, the one that I had to do for just a single was easy. It was T10 Nephilim Rift in 2 minutes. Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah. That's fine. My least favorite is the 8 challenge 8 set dungeons.
Yeah. I did the Tal set dungeon. It was actually pretty damned easy. Gotta admit.
Yeah, there are always a couple for each class that are pretty easy. And there's always one that's an extraordinary pain in the ass, at least I find. Look at all those colors. Look at all those numbers. Gosh, no wonder I played the hell out of this game.
Yeah.
I did finish my first playthrough of Ixion.
You finished. Nice.
Circular space station base builder with many a Frostpunk element. Yeah, it's the game evolves as you go along in a way that is pretty entertaining and I'll say challenging. Challenging is a nice word for it. It's fucking brutal. There are no difficulties per se that you can change. Like in Frostpunk, you can play on, casual or normal or hard or merciless. But in this game, there seems to be one difficulty level. And the reason is that the longer you play the game, the further along the storyline you progress, different things start happening. For example, you can have, without giving away spoilers or anything, you can have an enemy on the map who is searching you out and seeking to destroy you, and you have to come up with strategies to evade them and eventually defeat them. So it takes, it definitely starts off as a really solid base builder, and then it evolves into basically you're managing a mobile base, and you're going around trying to gather resources and save people and uncover stories and survive. So, great game. ACN, great game. Do recommend it. Even worth it at full price. And Hogwarts Legacy is still great. It's still a mixed bag. Yeah, we didn't talk about this last week because we were just chilling last week. We didn't actually have a podcast. Hogwarts Legacy is a mixed bag because the arguably the most important part of any RPG is the story and the characters that the story relies upon. And both of those elements in Hogwarts Legacy are great. The story is great. People have complained because it seems like your character is basically on rails. I don't care. I'm not there for a Mass Effect experience. I'm there for a Harry Potter experience, and yeah, it's fantastic. On the other side of that, there are no game-breaking bugs. I only had to save and exit and come back in once because I was in you call it a dungeon, but whatever. It was an area where I was solving puzzles, and you load into areas. When you finish one puzzle, you load into a new area. I loaded into a new area, and I got a graphical glitch. And the only unfortunate part about that, yep, nice dodge. Only unfortunate part of that was that the graphical glitch also turned out to be solid, so I couldn't walk through things, and it ruined the puzzle. So that's the only game-breaking bug that I found, and it was solved. Just save, exit, reload, everything was fine. But besides that, I think I was streaming it last time and I was showing Zero. I just went to a random village and I started having a conversation with a lady while she was feeding her chickens. In the cutscene, while I was still talking to her, the chicken feed was just spraying out of her sleeve.
It was hilarious.
She had a garden hose of chicken feed that was just shooting out of her her sleeve while she was talking to me very casually.
It was borderline disrespectful to the chickens.
So that doesn't happen. That's not like a frequent thing, but you will notice that. I also noticed in one of the missions, there are stealth aspects to the game, and so I was in a stealth area where I couldn't get caught, and it was in the medical wing actually, or the hospital wing, and a nurse was supposed to have left the room, and it was only when I got in the room that I noticed she had actually clipped through the wall, and her face was still in the room. So she was still looking at me while the majority of her body was actually in a different room. But again, it wasn't game-breaking because she couldn't notice me fast enough. Little things like that. People clip through walls sometimes. There are graphical glitches, and yeah, that's about it. So definitely not a perfect game. But
nowadays, what game is perfect?
Well, yeah. I mean that is so. But this is
not
again. This is still
Space Program 2. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, this is a great way to transition into KSP2 because it did come out for early access. It's like $50 early access,
which
is stupid.
No, that's full. That's the price of the Kerbal Space Program. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. However,
there's been a kerfuffle in the KSP community over the state of KSP2 early access, and it is quite frankly silly. KSP2 just did their very first early access release. It is full price of $50. They made no illusions as to the state of this game. It is missing everything. It has nothing. It is unoptimized. It is unfinished. It is not something that everybody should play right now. The only people who really should be playing KSP2 are the people who have done everything there is to do in KSP1. And there are a lot of people who are like saying dumb shit like KSP1 modded looks better than this. And it's like, well, yeah, it's fucking modded. You've got, HD texture packs and all kinds of other shit, blah, 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 blah. The base game does look pretty great. I think it looks really cool. They've got a lot of upgrades over the vanilla Kerbal Space Program graphics. Awesome. FPS is garbage right now. Totally unoptimized. It's not meant for mass consumption yet. It's only for the most hardcore people who really want to get in on the ground floor, who want to experience these bugs, who want to be a part of the process of making the game better. And
oh my God,
it's a high cost entry.
They're utilizing early access in the way that early access is meant to be utilized.
Yeah, that's my read on it. And the high barrier for entry, honestly, is going to keep out a lot of people who are just would come in and bitch.
Shit on it. Yeah.
They would come in and bitch that it doesn't look great. They would come in and bitch that the FPS is terrible. Like, that's not what it's about. And there's nothing wrong with booting up KSP and loading up your favorite mods that have expanded the game far and beyond what is currently available in KSP2. The point is that KSP2 will one day be far beyond what it is right now. And if you want to go along for that journey, hey, put your $50 down, hop in. I'm probably going to hop in early. Not yet. I'm going to wait for maybe a round of optimization in addition to whatever content gets added between then and now. But I'm definitely going to hop in early. But, it's up to the individual to decide. One day you're going to pay $50 for Kerbal Space Program 2. Do you want to pay for it now, or do you want to pay for it later? When you think of it that way, don't think of early access as a way to get access to the game for half price.
Yeah.
This is a true early access cycle. This is, hey, we got nothing right now, but you can play it. Let us know what you think. We're listening. And I'm kind of into it. It's refreshing.
Hey, do you know if multiplayer is implemented in their EA?
No. Not even close.
Okay.
Yeah, not even. That's. Yeah, they've got like a couple dozen parts.
See, that's when I say that we should hop in. That's when I say we should spend the money. Is to, you got your own thing in KSP. Which is totally fine. I mean, play it to your heart's content by all means. But if you want to fuck around in multiplayer and actually figure out how that shit works and how that shit could be made better, if who's the developer of KSP2? Fuck.
I think it's still Squad.
Yeah, all right. If they're taking EA seriously and they're listening to community feedback, I feel like we could actually, like, okay, Keen didn't give a shit. Like, we were playing multiplayer and we both submitted multiplayer bug reports, and net optimization never got better in that game. It was always a clusterfuck for one reason or another. If that doesn't feel like the case with Squad, then we should fucking do that. And we should.
It's actually not Squad.
Oh, really?
Squad handed it off. It is being developed by Intercept Games and published by Private Division.
The hell is Intercept done? Yeah, does Intercept have any other games that we recognize?
Well, Private Division's publisher page, developer page, has Outer Worlds, Roller Drum, game that's actually on my wish list. Oh wait, so they are the hold on. Okay, so they're the private division is the publisher, so it's the same publisher. It's a different developer within the same like under the same publisher. So there's some continuity there, at least. But I mean, I am by far the biggest Kerbal nerd of the group. I've been keeping up with the dev cycle on YouTubes and whatnot, and a lot of the YouTubers in the Kerbal space are excited and happy with the dev team and the way that the dev cycle's been going, and so there's good feelings among most of the community, except for the group of idiots who's pissy that the new early access isn't a fucking polished game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Aside from them.
Early access reviews are always plagued by the community here. See, there is nothing wrong. I have given creative feedback on early access titles, and I have said, I've given it a negative. Doesn't matter. But I've like listed things out. I've been like, here's what's wrong with X, and X. Here is how X, and X could be made better. I try and offer something constructive, at least, if I'm going to say, no, this is not in a good state right now. But there is supposed to be a lot of forgiveness in early access. You're supposed to go in with that attitude that, this is not finished. This is exactly what it states that it is. This is a development build. It's not a done game. So there's always that crowd.
But fuck them. I'm happy that I'm like I said, I'm not gonna play it now. I am not gonna recommend anybody play it now. Certainly not any of you guys, because the only people who I would recommend play it are people who are way more hardcore than I am, because even I have more to do in KSP 1 that I can gladly go do if I really want. So
that's kind of a glorious thing about the Kerbal Space Program, just in general. Yeah, if you're like looking forward to KSP 2 and you haven't played KSP 1, go get KSP 1, because the basis of the game is quantifiable physics, and physics has not changed since like KSP 1. Go learn how to actually plot coordinates. Go learn how to go learn orbital physics, basically. You can do all that in KSP 1, and then you'll get a leg up in KSP 2 because you'll have a grasp of the fundamentals, and I'm sure there will be new ways that they implement old mechanics in KSP 2 versus KSP 1. I'm sure that I hope that they have streamlined some stuff, but it's all going to be the same math.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. When we're all familiar with the concept of spaghetti code and how development cycles work. Like, when KSP 1 first started, there were no other planets. There was no solar system. It was just Kerbin. And then they added the moons, and so they built it in a certain way. Well, they've rebuilt the entire engine from the ground up for KSP 2. And that's part of the reason why it's taken so long. The original release date has long since come and gone. And they, pretty soon after the initial release date, were like, hey guys, that was way too ambitious. We're going to pull that back a while. And the community was thankful for that, and glad that they came out and said it rather than pulling a cyberpunk. But, we have a long way to go yet before this game is going to be in its final state. And, as cool as like the multiplayer shit's going to be, that's only like the beginning of it. So like they're rebuilding it from the ground up with all this other shit designed from the beginning to be there. So, and also they're offloading a lot of the CPU load onto the GPU. So once optimized, the hope is that it'll be able to handle some of those larger contraptions without being quite as horrible. You remember Space Casino? That was awesome.
Yes.
Boy, was that not happy. So, and then on top of all that shit, just optimizing all the old Kerbal shit and rebuilding it from the ground up to be in sync with itself from the beginning. The real thing that they're adding is other solar systems, other star systems, colonization, the ability to build in remote locations rather than just being able to launch from the one space center. So, yeah, it's an ambitious project, and people who are upset at the state of the beginning of the first early access release are so missing the point. They're just completely missing the point. I, for one, am excited to watch all the YouTube videos from all the great Kerbal YouTubers and hear what they have to say. And I'm going to guess on the really short side, I'll buy in probably like 6 months, or more realistically, up to like 18 months from now is when I'll buy in. And I imagine we're still a good 2 years away from actual peace, if not long.
Oh, KSP2.
I'll put it this way. 1 year in the future, KSP2 is going to earn the Steam Labor of Love Award.
Okay, all right. I think that's a safe bet. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
If Vegas took bets on Steam Awards, I would put money on that right now. Well, the real challenge would be guessing what year. 2023 right now. What do you guys think? I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say Kerbal Space Program 2 is going to be the Steam 2027
winner for Labor of Love.
For Labor of the Love Award, yeah.
All right. Well, it's on podcast, so we'll be able to refer back to it if we're all still alive in 2027. Yeah, we can come back to it. But that's actually a good opportunity to segue into something else. Do you remember when I half-heartedly said a while ago that what Elon Musk was doing to Twitter is hilarious, in that he comes along and fires half the staff, probably breaks the laws of a dozen states, just doing various dumb shit, treating his employees like garbage and all the rest of that, and then introduced the paid model of the blue checkmark, because that was really going to cut down on it. That was going to make a difference. That was going to be great. You're going to pay $8 a month for a blue checkmark, and that was really going to work. And then a day after it had been implemented, he rolled it back because there were so many people creating Elon Musk official accounts and just trolling him to no end. I half serious, half jokingly said, "This is funny, but how long, or what if some other company looks at this behavior and says, oh, well, he's doing it, so I guess it's acceptable." And we were all just like, yeah, from that standpoint, it's not great. What he's setting a bad example, and I don't think any of us expected anything to come out of it, in a timely manner, but just generally he was behaving poorly, and what he was doing was not a good image. Well, last week, apparently, Facebook and Instagram are getting paid verification badges just like Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he did something really fucking stupid, and of course the next stupidest person on the planet, Mark Zuckerberg, says, "Oh, well, you see, he's doing that, so I think that we should do that too." And Meta Verified is going to begin testing in Australia and New Zealand. I guess, yeah, this was published a week ago, so they probably already started. And there's this entire press release. Let's see. The service is going to cost $12 per month for verification on the web, or $15 per month on iOS and Android devices. So that's fun.
Keep in mind, these are dollar dues, not dollars.
No, actually, Australians will pay $20 per month for meta verification on the web, or $25 a month, $25 redues a month for mobile. So yeah, that 12 and 15, that is the US price.
$25 reduce.
$25 reduce, crikey. Shrimp on the barbie.
I guess we'll have to wait.
Dingo ate my baby.
Sorry. We'll have to wait and see what their suite of benefits is for the check mark.
Well, yeah, no, I'm getting to that. I'll read that. Omega, do you remember in Clone High, the Australian kangaroo, that all he did was he just walked around and he spouted out like, didgeridoo, shrimp on the barbie, dingoes.
Wallaby, oi, oi, oi.
That's all he fucking did. That was the character. Oh my gosh. All right, so yeah, what does your $12 a month get you, or your $20 reduce a month? Well, first of all, you get a verified badge confirming you're the real you and that your account has been authenticated with a government ID. Great. You get more protection from impersonation, because apparently the government ID, yeah, they just needed to reiterate this because people are fucking morons. 3. Help when you need it with access to a real person for common account issues. The real person may or may not speak your language. 4. Increased visibility and reach, with prominence in some areas of the platform like search, comments, and recommendations. So you pay them. It's basically like Google advertising. You pay them and you get a featured result. That's what I'm reading out of this. And finally, you get exclusive features to express yourself in unique ways, which will apparently include exclusive stickers on Facebook and Instagram stories and Facebook Reels, and 100 free stars a month on Facebook so you can show your support for other creators. That's what your money's getting you. I can't imagine using any of that. Of course, I don't use Facebook or Instagram, so, you know, whatever. Fuck me. And I love the last part of this article because they point out that much like Twitter taking a fucking nosedive because their CEO is, or their, you know, whatever, president, ruler, dictator is a fucking incompetent mess. Facebook has stumbled badly in recent months as well, thanks in part to Zuckerberg's, quote, dodged pursuit of the metaverse. Or dogged pursuit of the metaverse. Whoa.
What was that?
Somebody's shaving their butthole with a weed whacker.
Yes.
I hope. Yeah.
Sorry, I turned off Bluetooth on my phone and it reset the volume to loud.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, that's the. They're basically pointing out that yeah, Elon Musk took Twitter for a nosedive. The company's value sort of plummeted. It wasn't even because of the verified checkmark. It was in addition to the verified checkmark. So that's an important distinction to make. Facebook, on the other hand, Zuckerberg has sunk billions of dollars into the metaverse, and his board basically think that he's insane. And stock prices in Meta/Facebook plummeted. I think he's one of the people who lost billions of dollars in the span of about a year. I think Facebook got devalued. What did we say last year? We covered this too. It was something that was outrageous, like 70%. But yeah, this is an example of bad behavior spreading. And I honestly, months ago, I was just, I was only half serious. I didn't actually think it would happen this soon, but it did.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a funny coincidence that we're talking about this now, because I just saw an article on Reddit either yesterday or earlier today talking about how some social scientist of some branch of whatever study analyzed that basically all the trends in the tech industry of late are just simply copycat trends. Everything from, you know, exactly what we're talking about now to, you know, one company hires people and and everybody else starts hiring and it's all of a sudden a big tech boom. One company downsizes and everybody else downsizes all of a sudden. You know, there's an interesting article to look over. Industry may not be as innovative to like portray itself, perhaps as it once was, but no longer is.
Long ago, in the far, far away, in the long ago.
In the before times.
In the before time. Thank you. There was room on the internet for people to make mistakes. There was room for them to take chances, and that was. There was a lot of diversity. Say what you will about how shitty Internet 1.0 was. It was a fucking shit show for sure. But we were fearless in the 90s, in the late 90s. Make a fucking webpage about anything that you wanted to. You could basically copyright enforcement was not a thing. as Napster and Morpheus and Kazaa proved, and you could just it was a fearless time on the internet, and it was fantastic. Then you go to the early aughts, moving from high school into college, and things were better established, I'll say. Web 2.0 was rolled out, or it was being rolled out at the time, and things were more solidified. Things were slightly more secure. I mean, we thought that they were secure in those days, at least. It was a more stable environment, but it still had that fearless aspect to it. And you could find websites that didn't really offer terribly much. There was a lot of niche things going on. I'm trying to get through this conversation without referencing Ogreish or Motherless or 4chan, but I really, really want to. Not good places to go, but stuff like that was out there. It was a mixed bag. You know, it wasn't all good. It wasn't all educational. It wasn't all family friendly, but there was a lot of diversity. There was a lot of stuff that existed. And if you wanted to go buy something online, you didn't automatically go to Amazon. If you wanted to search for, you know, whatever your favorite term was, you didn't automatically go to Google. Google was one option, sure. But Jesus Christ, I remember back when our computer science teacher in 10th grade told us, all right, well, our official search engine is DuckDuckGo. I was like, okay.
Odd.
Yeah, it was a long-ass time ago. And Yahoo Search, that was also a popular one way back, again, in the long ago. Yahoo Search was a major competitor to Google and DuckDuckGo. But yeah, there was more room for shit like that. There were fewer conglomerates ruling over the specialty or the most popular areas, which today are shopping, social media, entertainment, and the almighty search engines.
That's the real tragedy of the internet, is that it has become
predictable,
decentralized, or it has gone from being decentralized to being effectively centralized and dominated by a small group of entities that control what a lot of people see and access and buy, and, you know, everything.
There was building one of my first computers ever. I remember there was serious competition between Newegg, which is still around, Tiger Direct, which is still around but nowhere near as popular as it used to be, and I want to say Amazon was also trying to sell computer components back in like 2008, 2009. There was serious price competition between all those, and sometimes Newegg won out. Most of the time, I think Tiger Direct won out. That site used to be fucking brilliant for PC components, and Amazon was just sort of like, you could go here, but why would you? Nowadays, there's pretty much no question. If you want it cheap, you can probably find it on Amazon. If you want it with a warranty and a good returns program, you can find it on Newegg, and that's it. There aren't that many other options. And if you want to build a computer, if you want to have somebody build your prefab, then these days you go to iBuyPower.
No.
They're the most popular. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm saying they're
I was
going to
say,
ones.
I bought a pre-built from iBuyPower, and that shit got returned in 11 days.
You said it was just one or two component, or one component?
But it was an important component. The warranty, it was bought through Best Buy.
Oh, so Jesus Christ!
It was just easier. It was easier to just go, okay, let me just take this back in.
I'm glad that you brought this up, because this is a perfect example, but it's a physical example that some older we boomers might relate more to. If you wanted to go and buy, like the brand new Eminem CD, or like a compact disc player, a CD Walkman, back in the day.
Oh my God!
You could go to Circuit City, you could go to Best Buy, you could go to Staples.
Radio Shack. Don't forget Radio Shack.
You could go to Radio Shack. Radio Shack was excellent. You could go to... There were 2 more electronic stores in my area. I'm not sure if they were popular or if they were chains or anything, but you had all these areas to go to. Those are gone. Office Max. That was another one. Office Max sold a lot of electronic equipment. There is one Office Max that I know of within 30 miles of me. There are 3 Best Buys, all of them located in major malls, and they are one of the solid businesses, the main attractions there. There are no more Circuit Cities within driving distance of me, within 30 miles of me, I'd say. There are no more Staples. There might be one Staples store, but those numbers are drastically down from what they were 20 years ago. And it's the same thing with vendors on the internet. There used to be a plethora of options that were all competing with each other, and then Amazon became the centralized marketplace, and it has remained so in the West, at least. And over in the East, you have Alibaba. That's just how it is. That's where you go if you want to buy shit. And if you really want to go out of your way, then you can find something that you like on Amazon. Then you can figure out what the manufacturer's website is, and then you can go to that manufacturer's website and buy it direct from them. But you might not be getting a good price. Might not be getting the Amazon price, the best price. So there you go. So sad. But that's how the internet is. And yeah, just to wrap this whole thing up and get back to the original point, yeah, that's, I feel, a reasonable explanation for why there's not a lot of innovation in the tech industry anymore. It's because all these conglomerates, these amalgams of all these different services that exist now are all watching each other, because if one of them does something outrageous, then the other 3 or 4 think that they need to do the same thing that's outrageous, because, they got to stay on top, they got to stay relevant, they got to stay the big boys.
Well, the tech industry also used to be all about, like, ideas and potential, and investors were usually private capital that were willing to take a chance. And now it's all become publicly owned companies that first and foremost care about making as much money as possible.
There's that, yeah.
Because that is their legal responsibility. So that's just kind of what happened. The tech world is different. People romanticize startup culture, but once upon a time, that was what made the tech industry what it was. That was the entirety of the tech industry.
Yeah, it was also difficult, and it sucked.
Yeah.
And it was totally worth it. And it built the backbone, it built a lot of the infrastructure that we rely on today. And God bless the people who keep on doing open code. OpenSSL especially. And everybody who publishes their shit on GitHub. Fucking internet heroes. Real, like, legitimate internet heroes, not the ironic 4chan definition of internet heroes.
Well, heck, that's what I use. I use a lot of stuff from GitHub on my streams to be able to, like, when I put the music on my intros and stuff, I I use a program from GitHub to display that, and because I sure as shit don't know how to program that kind of crap.
Are you using Streamlabs or OBS?
I use Streamlabs OBS.
Right, okay, so yeah, you got plugins. Yeah, and GitHub's a fucking great place to go for that. Like, open source code just in general is a fucking fantastic thing that, yeah, we should have more of, but it's an uphill battle, it seems, these days. Because there's a lot of pressure on developers to, I mean, people who are putting stuff up on GitHub are not making, it's possible to make money off that stuff, for sure, but they're not making bank. They could sell that to a private company for a lot more money, and they could get royalties off it for years. So, doing that and sharing that with the community is a philosophy that I idolized in the early aughts. It's just like, yes, absolutely. Come up with a genius bit of code and make it public for everybody and see who takes it and makes it even more genius. It was such, oh my god. Yeah, the rose-colored glasses are coming out. However,
that still exists.
It does. It definitely does. I wish it was a lot more prevalent than it is.
You know, watch me do this Belial fight.
Are you streaming? You're not streaming anymore.
Oh, really?
Alright, there we go.
You missed
Yeah,
that.
what's up, Belial?
Standing here the whole time.
He's gonna get smacked once. Oh, you gotta recast your Hydras, never mind. There you go. What a pushover. What a pushover! Alright, last thing to just generally touch upon. Speaking of just reminiscing and babbling about how the internet used to be, in a strange move of responsibility, the Supreme Court has admitted that they're not the best choice to decide the future of the internet regarding Section 230 of, what is it, the Internet or Telecoms Communication Act or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Section 230 is the one that gives platforms immunity from user-generated content, hosted content on their sites. So this is in response to a couple of lawsuits. One of them was against Google, specifically YouTube, on under the Google blanket umbrella, rather, promoting terrorist videos, basically. And saying that YouTube needs to, or yeah, we need to revise Section 230, and we need to make it more difficult for tech companies to say, "Oh, that's not our fault." This, like, the way that 230 is worded, it's actually very brief, and I read it. It just basically says that companies can't get in trouble for hosting content, assuming that there is a quote good faith unquote effort to moderate illegal content. So the argument now is that good faith effort is not an acceptable or it is not specific enough. There needs to be more to this, and I think this is really interesting. Actually, I think it's fascinating to me that the Supreme Court handed this back to Congress and we're just like, okay, you guys figure it out, because are most of the people in Congress more concerned with, like, getting budgets to get themselves reelected than they are in actually making good decisions?
Yes, but within the legal framework as it should work, the Supreme Court was right in doing this, because what Congress should do is take the Council of Experts and use their judgment to decide what is best. that's how the system's supposed to work.
Yeah, so
that's why you have hearings. That's why you have witnesses. That's why people are deposed. Blah 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 blah. So that Congress can be informed when they're making decisions. Supreme Court doesn't. Supreme Court answers questions of law, while what they're saying is that the law needs to define itself first.
Right. It's Congress's job to pass laws. It is the Supreme Court's duty to interpret them when need be. At least that's what I think I remember from high school history class.
Well, Congress passes. It's the Supreme Court's job to determine if a law is constitutional.
Okay, all right.
Honestly, a lot of what you'll see coming out of this is that companies like YouTube who say, "Oh, well, we've got this protection from 230," but they block, ban, and remove content that they deem as not acceptable, but other content is allowed to stay that really is not acceptable, i.e., the Al-Qaeda recruiting videos, the cartoons that were left up that were being shown to children through their algorithm on YouTube Kids that were really not appropriate for children. And they want, what some groups are wanting to have done is to get rid of Section 230, which no longer provides protection for these companies, to say, "Oh, well, we're just a publisher," but then moderate their content as if they are I forget how it's put. They're more of they're not a publisher, they're not a producer, they're a publisher. But they're acting as if they are a producer currently of the content by moderating it the way that they do.
Putting it like that, just because this is how my mind works, I was imagining Penguin or Puffin Publishing, like basically publishing mass murderers' manifestos. Being like, yeah, we didn't write it, we're just the publisher. Right, but... Well, okay, Mass Murder Manifesto is not a good example, because you might be able to actually legally... Whatever. A better example would be,
OJ's
basically...
book got printed.
Yeah, OJ's book got printed.
Every dime of it went to the Goodman family.
There are plenty of examples of books coming that have come out with questionable content under them that, I don't have an issue with specifically. But if Random House or Puffin or anybody started publishing just specifically ISIS recruitment notices and handing them out, I don't understand why the publisher wouldn't be held accountable for that. Obviously, that's never happened. I don't think that it ever would, but that's kind of where my mind goes. What if they did that? Wouldn't there be a lawsuit? Wouldn't somebody say that this is reckless, irresponsible, aka gross negligence? Isn't that argument there? So yeah, the larger question here, the one that the Supreme Court touches on, are obviously this. If Section 230 were repealed, this would set a precedent, and the precedent would apply to probably not only internet companies. It would apply to everything that relies on either user-generated content or user-generated substantial material, actual tangible objects. Is Home Depot responsible for selling the hammer that was used to massacre people? That kind of question. Even though I think that's a stretch of an example, but you get where I'm going. So this is I personally can't see very much coming from this. Maybe some language will be added to Section 230 by Congress, maybe. But I can't see just the way that our government is supposed to work versus the way that our government does work. I can't see, for example, Google not having a vested interest in keeping Section 230 the way that it is, or modifying it in such a way that they can still do whatever they're doing without putting in too much additional time, effort, and money. That's just me being cynical. Who can say?
A lot of the people who are against Section 230 are Republican and very much. A lot of them that are against it are your Ted Cruz.
They're against
Ted
changing
Cruz,
it or against its existence?
Against its existence altogether.
No, because they want to take on the tech company. No, they want to take on the big bad evil tech companies, and they think that the tech companies are hiding behind it. So they want to.
That's essentially what it boils down to. Yeah.
It's the whole right wing, stomp your feet and we're going to be tough on insert thing here, and they, for them it's the evil liberal left wing tech companies that are all clearly woke. And
Oh, okay. So all they have to do is put on a show, and it doesn't matter if they fail; they'll just blame the left.
Oh yeah, that's okay. How politics works.
No. I get that. I'm talking about this specific issue. Like, that's what they're doing. That is the strategy they're employing. Okay, that makes more sense to me.
That's basically the GOP's playbook right now. Is to because I actually read something recently where Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few others penned a ridiculous letter to Pete Buttigieg, who is, as you may know, the Secretary of Transportation. Wrote a letter to him criticizing the NTSB. In the letter, it was the DOT's NTSB, and because she hates Pete Buttigieg. The far right hates Pete Buttigieg, but easy red meat. Simple fact is the NTSB is an independent organization that is not part of the Department of Transportation, and he has no oversight over them at all. And we on the left will look at her and say, "You dumb bitch! You don't even know that Pete Buttigieg has nothing to do with the NTSB." But she didn't release that press release for us to, have feelings about. She released it so that she can screech to her base that she's been hard on, going after president's cabinet, and it's just politics, bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Catering to people who are too stupid to understand or too lazy to go and figure out how actually the system works.
The system is rigged. The game was rigged from the start.
It's not that it's rigged, it's that people are easily led. It's that there are a lot of people who are really easily manipulated. And I'm not even just saying this on the right. It's definitely
it happens all over
across the board.
But this is one of the pillars of propaganda. One of the main pillars of propaganda is taking advantage of how people think that something works, not how it actually works, how it's perceived to have worked. And if you can taking advantage of ignorance, if you can do that, then you can convince people of all manner of things. And you can build upon lies until the lies are no longer lies anymore. They're just, it's always been that way, and nobody bothers to question it anymore. So yeah, this has been going on in politics ever since I became an adult and started paying attention to this crap.
I mean, it's been going on in politics for a lot longer than that.
Probably for eons, but yeah, it's the first time in my adult life that I noticed it was, I will say, the Bush administration. It's like, Iraq has weapons of mass destruction, and they said it enough times that everybody just started repeating it. And they had Roger Ailes to thank for it. That miserable, dead, fat fuck.
WMD is
Yeah, remember that?
a good excuse.
It was a great excuse. We found exactly none. There were no biological weapons in Iraq. There were no chemical weapons in Iraq. There were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. There was nothing in Iraq. There was a lot of sand. And a lot of dead Iraqis. But they were totally like that when we got there.
You can't say that we did it. You didn't see us do it.
Yeah, it's that kind of retarded logic that basically surrounds us now. Jesus Christ. Alright, so yeah, that's that. More probably on that later, as it does directly affect the internet world. But my prediction is Section 230 is not going anywhere.
Yeah. Nope.
Amazon doesn't have a social media platform, does it?
Thanks.
No, they're branched. They've got a gaming division now. They've got a television movie or an entertainment division. They got their store, and Jeff Bezos has his own space program. That's silly. Makes me laugh.
They might soon have an NFL team.
Oh, that's right.
What?
That was on,
there's
Al
a
Jazeera
good
reported on that.
chance that he might be buying the Commanders, but right now it's uncertain if Dan Snyder would sell to it's there's a whole lot. I'm not even going to try to get into all the details of it.
He's going to buy the Commanders, and he's going to change the name back to Redskins. Oh, God, that's so stupid. All right. It has been an epic podcast. Almost 2 hours. Do you want to just shit around for the last 9 minutes so we can have an even 2 hours?
Or
Sure.
Remove the ire to Dobby. I gotta decide what I'm gonna play next. Because eventually I'm gonna be done with Ixion, and eventually I'm gonna be done with Hogwarts Legacy. So, Immortal Mayor.
You should
I
play
think?
Destiny 2 Lightfall.
No, I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, you said you were gonna no life the shit out of that. Good luck. Good luck, son.
Yeah, we will have a positive review next week.
Or yeah, if we weren't an hour and 50 minutes into this, I had a whole bit. I was just gonna be like, Zero, what do you think of the new Destiny today? And you're gonna be like, well, no, I haven't played it yet. I need the weekend, and we're gonna have a review next week. And I was gonna be like, no, our subscribers demand immediate knowledge.
Well, they would get none because the servers have been down since noon today and will not be up until noon tomorrow.
It sounds like you're making excuses.
If by excuses you mean completely legitimate facts because that's the way Bungie is doing shit to make sure that Lightfall launches correctly, yes.
I don't want facts, Zero. Facts make me angry.
What are you, Republican?
It's not, again, it's not just the right. It's the extreme of both ends.
Yep, it's true.
Facts.
Horseshoe fucking theory.
Yeah. Ugh. But no, yeah, so yeah, no, it's an hour and 52. Nobody's listening to this anymore except for Future Eliteness. Maybe we should have a conversation with Future Eliteness.
Eliteness.
I'm up to Paragon 845 now.
I'm at Paragon 31. I feel accomplished.
I'm gonna go ahead
You
and
wanna
guess.
you wanna join me for like one round and gain an extra like 100 Paragon?
Fucking do it. Do it.
I could do that. Let me finish this bounty.
I'm pretty sure that Eliteness wishes that he was playing Diablo right now. I'm just gonna. I don't know what I don't know what you're doing, Linus, but I'm gonna guess that you wish you were playing Diablo.
Lateness is working. He has a job.
Oh no, yeah, no, he's definitely working. Well, yeah, he has a job, and then he has a job after his job. So yeah, that's I don't know his inability to say no, which I found incredibly alluring, but which his higher ups might be taking advantage of.
So, Doc, I just did acts 1 through 4 bounties, and this is the first time I'm having to. They're clear out my inventory.
Have you turned them in yet?
No.
One moment.
Yeah, stick around on stream, people. We're about to watch Zero be a vacuum cleaner.
Here, let me be a tick and latch on to Omega.
Dude, it was like, we had one day last week where it was 60 degrees and the ticks woke up and I found a couple on my dogs. I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, I've been living here long enough.
While. You keep doing what you're doing.
Oh.
It'll be another couple minutes. I still got Act 5 to do.
He's got to do Act 5. Oh, look at all those. So cute.
Yeah, because I think that's the only thing I have left to do on... I've got to get Act 3, 4, and 5 bounties completed. Bounty caches completed for my Chapter 3.
Fuck up that Rift Walker. These people don't look particularly banished to me.
Oh. I do not want to go back to work tomorrow.
I do. I had a fucking lazy week last week. Well, I say it was a lazy week. It was not a great week for a couple days there because of the snow, but apart from that.
It's actually snowing right now in the city. First time we've had any snow, like official snow this year.
It has rained all day today.
Oh, I actually have to do this whole event, do I? Alright.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm
oh, the judge?
Yeah.
These. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, everything's just gonna die immediately. I've done this for a while. There's an achievement for doing this in co-op. Yeah, he was a little bit of a pushover. Oh my goodness, Kirby. Rapid Kirby popped in.
Kirby!
I missed this. It was 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, Kirby.
Yeah, sorry, Kirby. Kirby did say, oh god, I had a bad experience with Radio Shack in their later years. All I searched for was a video capturing device at the time. Yeah, Radio Shack. I mean, yeah, it did. It went downhill as the competition got stronger and they had to get more and more specialized.
Well, more as they just started to flounder and they just got bad. They lost. You know, everything went downhill.
For popular consumer electronics, yeah. But until the end of Radio Shack, I was still going there to buy capacitors and transistors and breadboards, all manner of just electronic components that you really, now you'd have to go to, Amazon probably has them. Again, that's the problem with Amazon. I'm going to pay 39 cents for a capacitor and I'm going to pay $1.99 shipping.
Yes. Damn, 8:45. Good lord. I hated that I had to leave on Friday night to get packed for the road.
Oh, right, yeah, for the wedding?
Yeah. It was fun. They didn't have like a traditional, like do the traditional thing where it was like cut the cake and do all that mess. They actually just were like, here's desserts. Everybody get what you want. It was great because there was no set schedule.
My sister's wedding was like that, except with liquor.
Yeah. It's the way our wedding, my wife and I's wedding was. It was, we did cupcakes and we did still do the whole, cutting of the cake thing, but it was open bar. My father-in-law insisted, and he regretted it because at the end of the night, his family went behind the bar and grabbed like 4 or 5 bottles of wine and walked out of the restaurant with them, or out of the venue with them. And he ended up having to pay for them. It was awful.
My sister had the most kick-ass wedding ever because all the food was made by us and all the liquor was brought by us. And, you know, when I say us, it was, you know, our family, their family, friends of family, all the rest of that. Just everybody brought everything. So we had some absolutely slamming microbrewed beer. We had more liquor than I think anybody knew what to do with. I was just like, yeah, you want to get hammered? The pile of liquor bottles is over there. Go pick something and yeah, mix yourself a drink if you want, or have it straight. Oh my god, that was a party. That was a serious party.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I was actually pretty good at that party. I was nowhere near as fucked up as I had been in previous events.
I actually did not drink any at this wedding at all. Drank water the entire time. Probably because I was in a place that I was not familiar with and did not want to risk driving at all.
Oh, you had to drive. All right, yeah. Well, my rule number one of going to every single wedding that I've been to, I've made sure that if it takes place at somewhere that offers, good luck, Omega. It takes place at a location where I can get a room, I get a room there directly. If it doesn't, I get a room as close within walking distance as I can. That's the only way that I will do a wedding. It's gonna start you off in a fucking cloud, isn't it? Fuck. Nice. Good micro. What a fucking drama queen. Just die.
Oh.
You should be able to smack him in the back of the head while he's doing that spasm thing. Like if this were... Oh, by the way, yeah, the Dungeons & Dragons movie is out, I guess?
Is it?
It hit theaters or something? I'm seeing a lot of clips of it around. Yeah, anyway, it looks every bit a comedy. Chris Pine in a comedy. That's new to me. I'll see it just for that.
You in?
Yep, I'm in.
So that's fun. So that's 2.
And 3. Act 3 is a 2 for... Surprise, surprise. It's actually 10.
And now we go in front of the children and open all of our gifts. Shit they'll never have.
Bleh. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's good stuff. All right, let's take that over the book.
So many
ID that shit and see exactly how much of it we're gonna break down. Probably all of it. Is there a rog in there? Oh, there's a couple. All right, you're good.
All trash.
All trash. All trash. Don't you mean that, Rog?
No.
Oh.
Learned one. My follower has one, and I've already got one. If it was ancient, I might do it. If it's perfect place out there, then we might be talking. But nope. Oh wait, no, I only needed 3 of them because actually I needed one of them for one of the altar
thingies.
Altar payment level cost thing.
Dealies.
Where yes. And I ended up, thanks to this season, double cashing. I got 3 Rorgs on a single run. So I got one in my cube, got one on my follower, and got one for my altar.
For the dealie.
Alright. Give me some ancient shoes.
Well, that's gonna be a highlight of the broadcast. So, yeah, it's been an epic podcast. It's been a good time. It's nice to hang out. I gotta go to fucking bed. I'm gonna take a huge ass shit and watch. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna. Well, I need viewing recommendations because I'm out of shit to watch on YouTube. Now it's just recommending me crap. Aside from that nice lady that grooms dogs.
Coast Guard show.
Coast Guard show. All right, yeah.
Anything by the Game Theorists.
Yeah. All right. I'll check it out. So yeah, that'll do it for us. GG's everybody. Thank you for coming in chat. Sorry I missed you, Kirby. That's my bad. I stopped looking at the chat for apparently 10 minutes. And that was the exact opportunity that Kirby needed to pop into chat. But that's okay. Alright, so yeah, GG's. We'll catch y'all same time, next place, next week. Penis. Fuck Putin. Slavia Ukraine. And fuck Winnie the Pooh.